Yeah.
And sometimes you have to think, you have no choice, than to think about, their future and their role in the Nigerian story. Yeah,
Or their future. You said their future.
correct.
Okay. Let's start from your background. I want people who are listening to have some kind of interface with your background. So, how are you? What's your educational background?
Educational background. So I did a lot of my early days, my younger years in Lagos.
Okay.
I started off, I grew up, I lived in Antoni Village.
You're Lagosan.
Yeah. and went to Maryland Convent Private School.
Okay.
Went to Federal Government College Janiki.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I also went briefly to Ogun State University.
Okay.
Well, it's changed name now, but in Agoiwoye. I went there before I left the shores of Nigeria to do my undergraduate. And I've done quite a number of other things outside, beyond that. So, I've got, went to Harvard as well, Oxford as well, and currently pursuing my doctorate at Warwick.
Wow. Okay. So, well, quite a number of questions I know that the public would like to ask you. So last week I took a public opinion, a kind of random public opinion as to sample the kind of president the Nigerian people would like. And quite a number of people thought one with education would be necessary. Actually, most people thought one with education would be necessary. Others suppose that, well, education doesn't necessarily save the day, given that what a man would stand for is probably more important than his education. So I think it begs me asking you, we have established that you're educated.
Sure.
What is your leadership philosophy?
Okay. My leadership philosophy is really centered around the idea that people matter.
Okay.
I think there are times where people have indicated to me that I overcare, and that sometimes it's not the best thing because, people will do what they want to do to you last. There's that,
you have like daddy tendencies, just observing. Yeah.
Okay. That's fine. And I say, that I think that if everyone had similar philosophy, that we would relate with each other better. Nigeria would be a better place. When you say people matter, it means there should be mutual respect, and I think that's one of the things that I put in the book that we're talking about, the business success.
Yeah,
it's around a culture that is responsible and respects, people. That's really my philosophy around leadership.
People
matter.
People matter. Now, I think that you're a Nigerian observing. I mean, you've been in Nigeria long enough. Well, I mean, if we extract the time you spent overseas.
I'm in Nigeria, no.
Okay.
apart from school and a bit of work.
Well, I think the reference to that is to say that you've been here long enough to observe politics and policies
Absolutely.
and how they affect the common man.
Absolutely.
And maybe even how they have helped to shape the current state of Nigeria. And I think as someone who aspires to become a leader, you pretty much might have something to say. So then let me ask you, what is there? Is there a problem with the current dominant two-party system that we have, the APC, the PDP? Something that you think that they should do differently, should have done differently, that could have given us a more different outcome as far as Nigeria goes?
So I think, one of the things that I'm sort of pushing, as I am in consultations with some different parties, including dominant parties, is that they need to be sensitive to what the youth want.
Mm-hmm.
They should do everything to ensure that they're not alienating youth in participating, in the electoral process. Because things are changing, and a lot of people want to have a reason to participate. There are quite a number of people that tell you they don't have PVCs, or they're not interested because they don't think that their votes will count, or they don't think that some parties really want them involved,
or sometimes that they're regarded by government.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So I think that's one of the areas that these parties should pay attention to. The youth are looking for platforms for expression.
Yeah.
And if they can create such platforms, I'm sure a lot of youth will jump on board.
99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. My name's Joyce, and we're having a profile conversation with an aspirant for the office of president. His name is Chukwuka Monye. And what platform are you running on? What platform do you intend to run on?
Yeah, so like I mentioned just a few seconds ago, consultations are ongoing.
Okay.
For me, the priority is to ensure that a decision is made regarding a platform that will give youth opportunity to express themselves. So that decision is going to be made very, very soon.
Okay, well, now you say that you are driven by passion. My assumption is that there are things that you see in the country that you believe should change or be better. So what, in your view, are the issues in Nigeria?
Okay.
I think there are a litany of them. There
are quite a number of them. But one of the things, what I've done with the vision.
Okay, to be honest with you, the phones, put them on the chair.
Okay.
How about that? Yes. All right.
Okay.
You were saying.
Yes. So what we've done with the vision is to pretty much streamline the areas of interest.
Okay.
Of the Nigerian people, right? And they fall into three general areas. One is security.
All right.
People want to feel safe again. People want to feel secure.
Yeah.
That's number one. The second one is sort of addressing foundational, issues, resetting our institutions.
What exactly are you speaking
and
to?
what I mean are institutions such as healthcare, such as the justice system, such as education. A careful combination of the addressing security and forming these institutions will lead to the third thing, which everybody wants addressed: jobs. And that's something that you don't come out. I know, yes, people are used to it. You're used to politicians saying, "Oh, we're going to create how many million jobs." It's not a work or function of government to create jobs.
Oh, well, say that loudly.
Yeah, it's not a function. of government to create jobs.
Okay,
it's to create the enabling environment. So that
the public sector
they create those jobs.
All
right. So that's really it. So three pillars really around the vision. Let's solve the security. Let's reset some of these institutions. Okay, they're very important. If we don't educate people today, what are you going to have tomorrow? Healthcare. You need to be safe and sound to be able to do anything anyway. Is it affordable? Is it even available? So these are very fundamental things that we have to look at.
All right, so I'm going to go back to your when I say history, I hope you understand the implications of that.
Sure.
Go back a little bit to your work history. Have you served in public office before?
No, I have not worked in government. I have worked with government. for several years.
What does that mean? You've taken contracts, got paid for it, consultancy?
I've served in different advisory capacities. I've provided consultancy services. I've helped to, work on policies and things like that. Yeah.
All right. So, now, you don't have what we would say would be a political history in terms of working in public office, nor do you have, say, a political ledger, one that one could just look through and say, well, he's been there, done this in political space, so maybe we should consider him. Now, that's not to suggest that we should totally overlook you. It's that I guess there's a case to be made for someone without political experience. So I want to give you the opportunity to defend your pursuits without experience.
Sometimes, it can also be, this conversation can also be, put differently, right?
Okay.
I can also say, show me how many people with political experience that have turned Nigeria around.
And that's a good way. If that was your comeback, that's a good serve.
So show me, and it will then show, kind of justify why you're telling me these skills that you gain in the political, process are relevant.
Or maybe gives the opposition an upper hand.
An upper hand. Okay. I'm not convinced, right? And the truth is, one needs to clearly appreciate the skills required to become president. If you understand it, then you will be more careful in trying to suggest that you need to play a different role before you become president. Because the question is, will that particular role you're suggesting afford you the skills that are required?
So now we end up now on a plane that suggests that I have to ask you a two-edged question, which is, do you have the experience on one hand for the office of president, and then do you think that you can, based on your experience, operate the office of president?
The answer is yes.
Okay.
The answer is yes, because if you tell me right now that you think Nigeria requires transformation, that it requires a change agent, that it requires someone who has hands-on experience in managing people through, that sort of change process.
That's what you have?
Then
I'm talking to you.
You're talking to me, right? And that's the point I was making earlier, that you need to be clear on what Nigeria needs right now.
So then, let me ask you,
Sure.
what do you think should be the characteristics of the next president of Nigeria?
The next president of Nigeria must be an extremely dynamic, inspirational, and transformational leader. Okay?
No, not a politician, a leader.
A leader. Very, very clear on that word.
Okay.
Politics is just part of leadership. Leadership is more holistic. And I say transformational because there is a technical skill required in transformation. In addition to that, I say inspirational because when you are in a time such as this, what people are looking for is to be inspired. So that's why I said it goes beyond politics. People are saying they want to be inspired. People are saying they want to have hope again. So it's not just politics. It's more holistic.